Hello everyone and welcome to Lovella's Coloring. In this video, I am going to share how I color in icebergs using just the colored pencils, and I'm also going to be using a paint pen. I have the Uni Posca, and I have done a video like this before. It was a couple of years ago. I'll put the link up here, but with that video I used both alcohol markers and pencils, and so in this video I'm just going to be using pencils, and the brand that I am using is the Prismacolor Premier. And the book I will be coloring in to share how I color an iceberg in is the Fragile World Color Nature's Wonders coloring book by Kirby Rosanes. And the page I will be coloring in is this polar bear one, and I did like a little bit up here just to see. So it's kind of hard because with this kind of page I would most likely try to color the background first before coloring the main image. So in this one I am gonna color the main image, and then I'll probably most likely finish up the rest. So I'm going to go ahead and share with you what pencil colors I will be using. I kind of have it separated. So the first three that I'm going to share with you is the Gray Green Light PC1025. Then I have the Light Green PC920. And this one is the Light Aqua PC992. And the reason why I have green is because of this illustration up here. I believe this is like the Aurora Borealis, so I'm thinking it's going to be a little bit green here. So I'm going to have a little bit of the light green on the tops of these icebergs. And next I have here Periwinkle PC1025. Then I have Blue Slate PC1024. And then I have here Cloud Blue PC1023. And then White. And these colors I am going to use on the top along with the greens. And then I have some additional colors, which is Non-Photo Blue PC919. And Sky Blue Light PC1086, and I'm going to use this in the bottom along with the other two colors that I shared, which is Blue Slate PC1024 and Periwinkle PC1025. So I'm using a little bit of the colors that I already used up here to use down here to kind of like combine them together so it doesn't look so separate. This is a lot more blue with like just a little bit of hint of green, not so much, but it's just, yeah, this one's more like a grayish blue. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with this up here. Go ahead and put this down. So I usually would like to start with a like mid color. So I'm going to start off with Blue Slate, and I'm just going to lightly color the areas that I know will be like shaded in. And with Kirby's books, especially like this illustration, he already puts in where all of your shaded areas are. So I'm just going to lightly color in all those areas. Kind of just use, I'm just lightly going over it. I'll be using the Periwinkle to darken it up a little bit. But this just gives me an idea of how it's going to look like with a little bit of color, and where I want to add any shadows, and where I'm going to add the little green highlights that are kind of reflecting the Aurora Borealis. So it's just like loosely and lightly coloring this area. And for me, like, if I'm not sure about the colors I am using, also, you know, I always try to use like a mid color, so if I change my mind, I can easily erase it and it won't be so dark. Because for me, I think the Prismacolor leaves a little bit of color, so if I change it, if I change my mind of the color and I want to use something else, I can easily just erase it and use a different one. Okay, so that was the blue slate. Just gonna come in with the cloud blue just a little bit. It's a little bit harder. Because afterwards I will be putting in the Posca, and so I want to make sure there's enough color, like blue color also, so it stands out. And I'm still going to put in the Periwinkle. Got that little area there. Add this one here. And I think for me, when I lay down like the mid colors and then add a darker color on it, it won't go down so dark, and then you can just build up the color. So here I have the Periwinkle 1025, and I'm just going to start laying in the darker color. And something I do like with icebergs or just anything that looks natural, like polar bears, aurora borealis, I would always Google a picture of them, you know, look at several of them and decide my colors from all of them, or if there's one that kind of inspires me, I will use that picture to help pick out colors. For this one, I kind of like blended several different kinds of icebergs, because it's hard. I didn't find any iceberg pictures with aurora borealis on top. There's a lot with like the top part, but not like underwater icebergs, so it's hard to tell what colors to use and how the lights would reflect. So for this one, I just picked out colors that I think would be great for the nighttime sky up here, and what I think the bottom would look like with the light from the aurora borealis kind of reflecting into the iceberg. So it's going to be like kind of glowing. That's what I'm picturing. But in this video, I'm just going to share how I color this iceberg in, and then just a little bit of this part right over here. Let's give you an idea of the other two colors that I added to use in this page. So I'm just following Kirby's shadows that he already have here. And the reason why I picked Prismacolors to share how I colored icebergs in by itself, because it's my favorite pencil set out of all of them, plus it's a pencil that I know that I know how to use them the way I want to use them, where I can blend the colors and kind of see, like, if I need to add something else, I can easily add it in. And it's just a pencil brand that I know that I can use in any kind of paper. So this paper from Kirby's book is really great. I've used Prismacolor on it before, not this book, but his other books by the same publisher. So I know it's gonna work. Okay, so we kind of got all of the shadowy parts down. Just seeing, did I miss anything? Add a little bit more. There, maybe here and here. Okay, I think so. I mean, if I want to add any more, I can do that later also. Let me see. I'm just gonna come back with the blue slate. I'm just gonna leave a little bit, add a little over here. Yeah, for icebergs, it's a little, I think it's a little bit forgiving. I think what really makes it pop out is the paint pen or gel pen, whichever one you prefer. For me, I like using the paint pen because it's easier for me to cover up the lines. I usually use gel pen for the finer lines, but for me it's kind of hard using the white gel pens over, like, Prismacolor over wax colored pencils. It kind of just glides and skips, so I tend to just go towards the Mutable Posca, and this is the 1MR. It's a 0.7 millimeter, so I think that is the smallest size for Posca. So it just makes it easier for me to lay it down. Okay, I'll come in with the Cloud Blue number 1023. I'm just gonna smooth those out. And I can go back and make it a little bit darker if I want to. Just going to smooth some of the I will add a little bit of the green on the sides where I think the Aurora Borealis will be kind of reflecting off the snow and iceberg. Okay, just gonna look white, smooth this one out. I'll now pick up the light green PC1025, and because we have the Borealis on this side, I'm just gonna lightly, if I still have to color it in, I'm gonna most likely try to use the same color. The darkest one I have here is Light Aqua 992. Try to use this color on here so it kind of matches the reflection of the green that I am using. here. Put that much, and then I have the gray-green light. I've already sharpened up to there. Number 289. There. And then if I want to, I'll most likely add some light aqua to areas where I think it might be a little bit dark. I won't. I like to lay it down last so I can put it down slow or lightly. And then just smooth it out with the other color, gray-green light. So next, I'll be coming in with the Posca. I usually use the paint pen after the background is done, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do it now. Definitely, when the background is done, the iceberg will pop a lot more. But let me go ahead and do this one first. I'm gonna shake it up really quick. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start laying down. I can always add more later too, so just want to show you how it will look like with the Posca. It's hard to see. Okay, the top part done. So these are, I didn't bring my gel pen up here, so I'm just going to use the white Posca, and I'm just going lightly so it won't lay down so dark or thick. Always miss the black line. I'm not going to do hash marks in the shadowed area. I'm just going to go over lines here. Okay, so let me go ahead and fast forward this part. Okay, so if I can, I'm going to show a difference between this one and what it looked before without the white Posca. And if I have it up on the screen, you can see how much a difference using the paint pen makes. And I think it will make it pop out even more when I have like the dark background with the Borealis. And then, yeah, so we're going to continue on with a portion of the bottom part. Okay, so I'm going to move this up. I'm just going to do like this area right over here. So the pencils I will use for that portion again, along with the white. I am also going to use the Periwinkle 1025 and the blue Slate 1024 again. And to make it a little brighter, because for this page, again, I'm going to make it kind of dark because it's nighttime on this side, but kind of like a little bit brighter down here, or like the igloo, the iceberg is kind of like reflecting light. So I'm going to use the non-photo blue PC919 and sky blue light PC1086. So like up here, I am going to use like the mid color. So I'm using non-photo blue PC919, and just pretty much just go over the shaded areas, lightly color it. I'm not going to worry so much about the little bubbles. I can always whiten that out or erase it. With this portion right over here, it's going to be darker right in the middle, and then it gets brighter towards the outside. So with the non-photo blue, I am using it for the outer portion more, and when I get to this portion, I will bring out the blue Slate. So I'm just going over the shaded areas that Kirby laid out in this illustration. Go down here. Okay, so that I'll probably bring this out again, most likely. Next, I'm going to bring in the blue Slate. Yep. And just in the inner areas right here. And then I'll bring out the Periwinkle to darken. That's going to be like my darkest color. Unless if I decide to make it a little bit darker, but I think the blue Slate should be okay. Hopefully I'm not covering. I apologize if I am. I can't see my screen as I'm recording this, so I apologize if I'm covering any sections. So that kind of, just laying down those mid colors kind of give you an idea of how it's going to look like. Most likely going to use this a lot more towards the middle, and can't tell if I'm just probably going to go down here or just stay in the middle. We'll see as I add the colors. Okay, so I'm just gonna stop right there and then bring in the Periwinkle number 1025, and this time just darken it. And this might take a little bit longer. I'm not sure, because it's a lot of area to color. But let's see. Yeah, but mostly the darkest area. I'm not going to use so much of this periwinkle on this side. Probably like where the paw is. Darker areas here. Let me just go ahead and do it on this side first. Wherever it's the darkest is where I'm going to lay it down. So I am picking out the darkest shade that Kirby already laid out, and then if I feel I can use it somewhere else, I'll add it there. Yeah, I was kind of worried doing this video because I wasn't sure. I was looking through several books to figure out which one I'm going to use to show as an example of how I color icebergs. There are several books to choose from, but I wasn't sure which one would be the best one. I didn't want to use an illustration from an Amazon coloring book, Amazon printed coloring book, because with Amazon coloring books, I don't use pencils. It hurts my hands just to use it by itself on that kind of paper. So I usually use markers and pencils for that. Markers as a base, and then I use pencils to shade it in. It just saves my hands from cramping up and ending up like claws. So just gonna darken this area a little bit. I don't know if I want to introduce another color, a little bit darker, but I'll see after I finish this portion here. Okay, so that part I think is good. I'm going to come back with the blue slate and just going to, like where I laid the periwinkle, kind of just build it up from there. The shadows, and I think I added that much there. There. Okay, so basically I'm using the blue slate. I can't remember if I had told you which pencils, and then go over the areas where I laid down the periwinkle to smooth out the color and just bring the shadow out. I'm coloring it in a little bit harder. Here. So all the hash marks, I leave it alone. I don't even use the the markers on it because you're gonna lose the dark color in there. So I leave all the dark hash marks. I use the Posca just to outline like the brightest part or the whitest part of the I was gonna say igloo again, iceberg. Then after I do this, I'm going to come out with the non-photo blue and then do the same everywhere that I laid down the blue slate. I'm going to go over and kind of spread the blue out, but still leaving like little white areas. And I'm just building up the color. One thing I like to do when I'm unsure about how the picture is going is to take a picture of it. I like to stop, take a picture of it, and walk away from the coloring and just see where you can add more color, what other colors you should pick up to color in. Or if there's any areas that you might have missed. Okay, I think here I'll add a bit more. It's really dark in here, so I don't think you're gonna have that much white. Okay, so next come in with the non-photo blue. I'm just gonna come down here, and again, this is just to brighten up the blue just a little bit, kind of like make it stand out from what's going on top of the water. Here you're gonna have highlights of green. This one will be like a little bit of brighter blue. Oh, I forgot to mention, I'm using like a medium to light pressure. Oh, sorry. I've been having vertigo in the past few days, so that was a little bit better. But I think I'm standing so still that I'm getting dizzy. But let's see. Oh, what did I just say? Yeah, so just medium to light pressure because I'm going to be going over it with the sky blue light to smooth it out. Oops, that's a little too dark. I just want a hint of the non-photo blue. And just giving hints of the blues here. Okay, so now I'm going to come in with the sky blue light. Oops. And just go over just going over everything. Just to smooth it out. And I'm not worried about like losing all the white areas or anything like that, because I am going to be coming in with the Posca, and that's just going to make it brighter anyways. So just using the sky blue light to smooth out the colors that I added here. Okay, so I'm done with that, and I want to come in with the Periwinkle. I might go ahead and add one more color. Not sure, let me go see. Just gonna darken this area up. But if you do this page and you want to make it darker, you can probably use one of the cool grays to darken it up a little bit right here in the middle. Especially, I'll just leave that area. But for now, I'm just gonna, I think I'll just stay with the Periwinkle. Darken up this area a little bit. Just trying to make sure that the hand kind of sticks out a little bit more. Okay. Okay, so this is how it's going to look like without the white Posca. And so now I'm going to go ahead and add the white Posca so you can see how the difference is between the two. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward this portion. Okay, so this is how it looks with all the Posca work done. Let me see how it looks with both of them side by side. hopefully there's a difference. I can't tell right now, but hopefully with the picture up, you can see how much the white Posca really makes the iceberg pop. I kind of left this area right over here. I do feel like I should make it a little bit darker, so I'm not sure yet. I picked between an indigo blue and a 90 cool gray. I'm still not sure with the indigo blue because sometimes it comes out bright, so I'm just gonna try a little bit of little of the area. Yeah, I think that's too bright for me. Just see if I can erase that. There, I'm gonna come in with the 90% gray. I'm just lightly going over the areas here. Just want to make it a little bit darker. And I think that's what I'm gonna do is after I lay down all of the blues, I'm gonna come in with the 90% gray, 90% cool gray, which is PC1067, just to darken up the shadowed area. So I'm going to try to make this portion right in the middle a lot more shadowed than the periwinkle that I use. I'm just going to just a little bit in here, add it to this area. But I'm not going to finish it right now. I'm just adding how it will look like right here. And I may add the periwinkle back just to kind of like smooth it out. Yeah, so over here, a little bit darker. This area here, I didn't even color in that area yet, but yeah, so that's what I will do. To make it darker in areas, use the 90% cool gray, and then like I said, if I need to smooth it out, come back with the periwinkle. Just to blend that color in. I'm gonna add more over there. Okay, so that is how I would come in and color the iceberg. I have this urge to say igloo for some reason, but yeah, the icebergs. And again, the reason why I added a little bit of the non-photo blue in the bottoms, just to have it kind of stand out a little bit more, to know that this is underneath the water and this portion is above the water. So it's a lot more gray here and a lot more bluish green on this one. And yeah, so it's gonna be a whip right now, but hopefully I can finish it up soon. And yeah, so that is it. I want to thank, I forgot who the subscriber is that asked. Hopefully I can find her name and put it up here, but thank you so much for your request. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing how I put this together, and I will add the playlist of my how to or how I color videos at the end of this video. So thank you all so much for watching. Please take care, keep safe, and happy colorings everyone. Take care. Bye bye.